President Trump on Friday announced that the U.S. will send roughly 1,500 troops to the Middle East in order to counter Iran's influence in the region. Trump emphasized that the new deployment, this is a stupid ad on the side of me, will provide force protection for existing troops in the area amid heightened tensions with Tehran. The president approved the additional forces on Thursday following a meeting with Acting Defense Secretary Patrick Shanahan and Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman General Joseph Dunford at the White House. "We want to have protection," Trump told reporters at the White House. Director of the Joint Staff Rear Admiral Michael Gilday later told reporters at the Pentagon that fewer than 1,000 new U.S. troops will actually be deploying to the Middle East, while roughly 600 soldiers already in the region will have their deployment extended. The new soldiers sent are part of a Patriot anti-missile battalion being deployed to defend against missile threats. In addition to troops and the Patriot battalion, the Pentagon will also send additional intelligence and reconnaissance aircraft engineers, as well as fighter aircraft squadron, to provide additional deterrence and depth to our aviation response options. Shanahan said that the request for more forces and equipment had come from U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, and that he had informed Congress of the deployment, saying it was meant to improve our force protection and safeguard U.S. forces given the ongoing threat posed by Iranian forces, including the IRGC, Iran's Revolutionary Guard, and its proxies. The move is a prudent defense measure intended to reduce the possibility of future hostilities, the Pentagon chief said in a statement. "I remain committed to ensuring U.S. personnel have the force protection resources they need and deserve." Tensions with Iran have grown since earlier this month when the Trump administration deployed a carrier strike group and a bomber task force to the Middle East, citing troubling and escalatory indications and warnings from Iran that have yet to be publicly identified. That's a nice little way to cap off this article. Troubling and escalatory indications and warnings from Iran that have yet to be publicly identified. But this is what is so antithetical about. So, like, one of the things Republicans will say is that Democrats have big government. Oh my God, Reagan even called the LBJ administration government by mystery. And it seems like government by mystery when you're telling me this country is giving us troubling and escalatory indications and warnings, but you don't tell us what specifically those are. And you actually had the National Security Advisor with his goofy self, Bolton, who said something to the effect of, "Oh, well, we don't tell people, the public, because, you tell the public and then the terrorists hear it and then they know our plan." I'm like, but do you not, like, it's amazing that someone can say that out loud and not realize how they have basically committed themselves to the idea of having a shadow government that is going to keep making itself more and more mysterious to where whistleblowers are forced to reveal certain things. Now let's get to the actual main issue at hand, which is this deployment. And you don't have to really ask to figure out how I feel about it. I think it's stupid. I think it's a waste of troops. I think when you read the Pentagon chief's statement about providing them the protections and defenses and all that mumbo jumbo, it's lip service for basically saying, hey, we're going to send these troops out here. They're going to have some stuff with them. If any of them get killed, hey, it's just more people dying for the wonderful America that doesn't pick a problem or fight with anyone except when it does with Iran. I've stated before that the only reason we're screwing with them now is because the Venezuela thing is kind of under the water. Like, we're not really messing with them all that much right now, so we need some other country to screw with for a little bit. And, let's call it what it is. And people don't like to admit this, but there are two countries the U.S. will do whatever, they say, Israel and Saudi Arabia. So if Iran is the arch enemy to Israel, which they are, it would stand to reason that the U.S. would have problems with them as well. And unfortunately, we're kind of inheriting that problem. But see, I don't have an issue when it's just a war of words, like, oh, we're going to call your group a terrorist group, we're going to pull out of this agreement. But when you start actually deploying missiles and sending more troops, that's why I keep telling people that the U.S. Army and just the U.S. military is a big joke, where these douchebags, in high-ranking positions, whether it's the president, the national security advisor, the defense secretary, run their mouths about another country and stoke up tensions with it, along with the high-ranking officials, likely of the other one, depending on who they are. And in response, the people from both countries have to pay the consequences. And no one seems to get that's the whole reason any of this stuff is even allowed to go on with confidence. That they know no matter how bad things go, their life's not in trouble or danger. And if 4,000 of these troops die or the entire platoon, they'll just send some more because there are more people that are willing to keep putting themselves in these situations as part of some delusion that the U.S. cares about them. And I say the U.S. both its citizens and its government, because let's remember 27% of the veterans that come back are homeless, or rather they make up 27% of the homeless. So if over a quarter of the homeless are people who served in these different banana wars and survived, I think you can kind of get where I'm saying we don't give you the hero's welcome when you return, but we sure as hell will prefer for you to go out there and fight for something we started. So another stupid thing on another dumb day in the dumb era. So have fun.